Here's today's piece of fun. 2012 Nissan Juke. Duke of oil, or Juke box. Starter motor replacement. See how this one's gonna fight me. Right. Where is the starter motor, we cry? It is down there. Let me take you off my head. Way, way down there. There are things in the way. God knows how I'm going to get to this. You can't get to it from underneath. I think my only chance will be if I can take this fan shroud or this electric fan off. That'll give me room to reach in and get hold of that baby. As I said, it's way down there. And yeah, maybe I'll be lucky enough if I can get this this fan off. Looks like I have to take off the overflow bottle. And what else? Yes, this is not going to be easy. That's for sure. Well, there's no good standing here looking at it. Let's start ripping things out. All right. This is going to be a nightmare of a job. Fucking Nissan. First thing you got to do is remove this bumper. And I believe you also have to remove the headlights. I'll find out in a minute. Take out the little poppers here. Then come round to the wheel arches and remove a popper in there and pry this out. You'll see there are these kind of clips. There are also these type of clips, and they usually break. And you will find that there is a bolt in here, and then you just pull this out. Oh, I can't do it at the moment with the camera in my hand. But anyway, you pull this out, and then you need to go to underneath, and I'll show you that. Give me a second. Next, there are two bolts here. Same on the other side. They need to come out because it's attached to this piece, and you don't want to be dragging this piece out as well. Okay. Yep. This is what you have to do. So, having taken the front bumper off, you can then undo the headlights. Take those out of the way. Why do you want to do that? Because you need to move this bar. Why do you want to do that? Because you need to move this piece of plastic, which has got the fans attached to it, so it gives you enough room to reach the starter. Will this just pull up? No, there are two clips holding it, and I believe there is something underneath that is not letting me pull it up, and that is probably a cable tie or something like that. I'll let you know. As I thought, down the bottom there is the bottom hose, and it is bolted to the fan shroud, so you have to get underneath and remove that bolt. Okay, this is the bracket that is attached to the fan shroud. Getting the fan shroud out with a lot of jiggery and pokery and wiggly jiggly, you finally get it out. There is obviously the starter motor. There's one bolt there, and there's one up there somewhere. I've got to get these wires off. You hear that cracking? Plastic shit. You know how I love plastic shit on cars. This isn't going to be easy to do. I'm hoping that if I undo the bolts, I'll be able to disconnect the starter. But I am putting money on that. There's a connection down here, this thin wire that goes to the bottom. I might actually be able to reach up and get hold of that one. If not, I'll do it from up here. But the big one is here, and do note it goes from the starter through to the alternator. So if I hadn't previously mentioned it, you must disconnect the battery before you start this. Otherwise you're going to have sparks flying everywhere, and that's never good. All right. Sorry for the puffing and panting here. That was a bit of a fucking battle getting that out. So, time for a glass of wine and bang my head against the wall. Okay, as you can see here, the bolts are out of the starter and it's now a matter of manoeuvring it out of there. I'm sure that's not going to be easy. I'm hoping I don't have to undo this bolt here. I say undo the bolt, I don't even think there's a bolt there. I mean, there might be lower. And then that bolt there to move that pipe out of the way. I'm hoping I can wiggle the starter motor out. Do note this little baby here, that is from the alternator. And the reason I've done that is because the wiring harness goes from the starter motor to the alternator, and I want to try and wiggle it out so that I can get to the starter motor bolt. By the way, if anybody asks you ever to change a starter motor on a Nissan, tell them to go forth and multiply. It's not worth the fucking effort. It really isn't. Good God, what a fucked up design. Thank you, Nissan, you bunch of pricks. Alright, just to finish off this video, there is the starter motor. As you can see, it's at one very hell of an angle to get it out. And there is a wire here that you have to make sure you take that off. It moves enough, but you do need to take it off. And then you can unbolt the main one here. Of course, with this all being plastic, everything will break as you touch it. And I have had to drain the cooling system in order to allow me to pull the starter motor back. You might be able to struggle and get it out, but I couldn't. And I'd spent so much time on it, I decided it wasn't worth the fucking effort. So I've drained the radiator and pulled the coolant hose off. Such fun. This really is one hell of a job. I can see why the dealers charge $1,200 to do it, because it takes forever. And as you can see, you have to take just about everything off of the damn car at the front. Now the task is to get that final bolt undone on the starter motor, get it out, put the new one back in, and put everything back together. I don't think I will be completing this task today, because there's a lot to do and I've got to take my time and make sure I do it properly. As previously said, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, ding the dong. You'll get notified of any other videos I put out, mainly Jaguar ones, and particularly my Mark II Jaguar that I'm reassembling. As you can see, I have a few toys. Yeah, get out in that garage, do some shit like this.